Welcome into the winter edition of the LTU Coaches Podcast. Glad to be back. I'm Jason Ross Jr., your host for our LTU Winter Podcast, joined by senior point guard Ty Searles of the Lawrence Tech men's basketball program. Ty, glad to be with you today.
I'm happy to be here, man.
We'd like to start off by asking you about your journey to LTU to this point, and I guess where you started and when you found out that you would become a Blue Devil, backtracking a few years now.
Second year at junior college, I went to Owens in Toledo. Talked to Coach Pick over the summer. He brought me on campus. Took the campus visit. We discussed like my possible future here, and I just believed in him from that point on. I just wanted to be a part of the journey with him.
And so far to this point in the season, how would you assess the team's play from game 1 to 14 now?
I think I would just say the word improvement. Every day the guys have been grinding, just pounding the pavement, learning. Obviously a lot of freshmen, a couple returners, Al and Devontae. But we got a lot of good young guys, Carter, Isaiah Cumberland, Jalen Bethel, Seth, Tyler, Balin. They all just like working hard. And they just come day by day ready to learn. And I just say that they're trying to improve every single day, no matter what happens, if we win or if we lose.
And what have been some of the lessons, I guess, that they have learned so far, or that you've tried to teach them at this point in the season, those young guys?
Is that you got to come in every day, and when you come in to work, you got to be prepared to compete. Every single rep, every single play, every single thing you do, it has to be intentional, and you have to focus in and make sure that you make the most of every play. And that basketball is a game of runs. In college, you go on runs. Other teams go on runs. You just got to weather the storm, and if you weather it right, you'll come out pretty good. And
a lot of those guys are just kind of, like you said, learning the college life and college flow, but you've been in it for now your 4th year. At this time of year, it can get kind of tough with finals going on. We just talked about that before we came in here. How have you been trying to balance that side of your life with school and basketball?
You got to put school first. Lawrence Tech, they do a good job of letting us get like AAC hours and giving us the right resources to be prepared to study and pass our finals. So it's not that hard. You just got to buckle down and you have to lock in and be intentional to your schoolwork just like you are on the court.
Thank you, Ty, for joining me today. And coming up, I'll be joined by men's head coach Josh Pickens. Coach, thanks for joining me today.
Thanks for having me.
So I would like to start off by asking you about this season so far. It's been an excellent turnaround. You got off to a 2-0 start in WAC play, first time we've ever seen that for our men's basketball program. What has gone into this turnaround, and what was your mentality when approaching it, knowing you would have so many new players this season?
Yeah, well, going back to last year, we wanted to come in right away and establish our culture, establish our core values, and do what we call lay the foundation. And we didn't have success from a wins and loss standpoint last year, but we continued to get better throughout the year, and that momentum just carried over to this season. So, some people might think I'm crazy for looking at 4 wins, what kind of momentum, but the day in and day out things in our program that Tyrese did, and Devontae Miles and Alec Ivanovic, and to also Derek Seidel and Eric Davenport, who are no longer with us. They were seniors last year. The things that they did allowed us to carry that momentum over, and we have outstanding leaders with Ty and Devontae and Alec, and so brought a whole new group in, 10 freshmen, one transfer, and so they bought into everything that we've asked them to do, and our leaders have really done a good job of leading.
How do you assess the season so far now, 14 games in? From 1 to 14, how have you kind of looked at the growth of this team?
Yeah, actually 15 if you count the exhibition game from this past weekend. But yeah, that's what we talked about, right, from the beginning of just taking a next step every single day and every single game. And I thought we've gotten better week to week and day to day. So, you're judged ultimately by wins and losses, but within our program, we don't judge ourselves based on that. Now, it's nice to get the left column, right? That's what we want to do. That's our goal every night. But I think we've had a steady improvement, and I think this next month will be huge in determining the direction we go the rest of the way. How much better can we get from now until January 2nd when we resume WAC play?
And Coach, a lot of new faces this year, but guys I think 11 freshmen is it, and 2 of them are red shirts. So, we'll see them a lot down the road here. Looking forward to the future. Where do you see this program developing? What's your approach to developing down the road?
Yeah, same approach. We want to get high character kids who can play, who love the game, and are good people. If we continue to do that, I think our trajectory will continue to go upward. Obviously, we lose next year. 2 great leaders in Devontae and Ty, but that's on us as coaches and developing leaders right now and kind of throwing some of those freshmen into some leadership positions and, in hopes that they develop not only on the court but off the floor and being able to galvanize groups and things like that. So, we take it day by day, year by year, recruiting class by recruiting class, and I think if we continue to work as hard as we are as a staff now, and continue to bring in high character young men like the ones we have now, I think the sky's the limit. So I'm not going to sit here and guarantee anything, but I think the sky's the limit, and you'll continue to see an upward trajectory and steady improvement.
Thank you, Coach, for joining us today, and good luck the rest of the season.
Awesome, thanks, man.
Yeah. Now joined by head coach Kylene Biggs on our LTU Coaches podcast. Coach, thank you for joining me today. And I would like to start off by asking you just a little bit about how the season's going. You guys are, 11-4 in the season now, 5-2 in the WAC. All your goals are still ahead of you. How would you assess games 1 through 15? It's crazy that we're 15 games in now. It doesn't feel like we are. So,
yeah, it's crazy. It's gone by so quick. We're playing okay. We haven't hit our peak yet, which is frustrating but exciting all at the same time because it means our team still has a lot of growth. We obviously lost a big one Friday night at Wilberforce. Buckingham scoring the ball very well for us. We're just trying to get everybody else's confidence and taking shots within our offense to really pick up because we have a big week ahead. We have Great Lakes Christian on Friday, and then we have Point Park to finish out December.
Coach, moving forward, you kind of already touched on how this team wants to improve in the rehearsal. I think if there's 7 a.m. practice tomorrow, what will be the things that you'll look forward to in improving in practice tomorrow and throughout this next week as you guys have a game on Saturday?
Yes, we just have to get better offensively. That's the biggest thing for us is how are we going to create for ourselves, for our team, and we have to put each other in better situations. And right now, our spacing is not very good, so we're just working on getting better with our spacing and our timing of our offense and making sure the ball is in the right people's hands at the right time. So I think that's our biggest thing is we want to see how we do Friday night offensively and after Christmas when we travel to Pittsburgh.
Thank you, Coach, for joining me today. And now I'll bring in senior guard Nicole Buckingham to our LTU Coaches podcast. I want to start out by asking you about your journey from Saginaw now to Lawrence Tech, now backtracking a few years, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
When did you know that you wanted to be a Blue Devil? What was that process like for you?
It was a little unique for me. I was never much of a scorer in high school. It wasn't very flashy for sure. So I didn't really have a ton of offers per se. One of the girls on my team was getting recruited by LTU in high school, and they just kind of noticed me, and I knew I wanted to be an engineer as a sophomore in high school, so I kind of had that half of it mapped out at least, so that really helped me narrow it down, and yeah, it ended up being a really good fit. I got really lucky.
And definitely has been a good fit for you throughout your career, leading the WAC in scoring so far this season. You guys are coming off a 1-point loss to Wilberforce, but still 11-4 in the season, 5-2 in the WAC. All your goals are still ahead of you. How would you assess the team's performance so far, games 1 through 15? It's crazy that we're already 15 games in.
Right?
Yeah.
It's tough because any other team would look at an 11-4 record and be like, oh, great, things are going well. But I think the general attitude on the team is we're relatively unsatisfied, I guess is the best word. Yes, we're winning games, that's great, but I just think we all feel we have so much more potential and we have so much left to accomplish, I guess. So we haven't really we're not exactly like, oh, let's have a party. We're very much so relaxed and looking forward to the back half of the season because that's where our goals really start to come in. So we're still pretty focused.
And we just talked about it off camera a little bit, but a busy schedule for you guys right now, going to Indiana last Wednesday, then Ohio a couple of days later. Not much downtime with finals going on right now. How are you trying to balance that, I guess, as a student athlete?
Yeah, it's always interesting. This time of year is always crazy. But I mean, the long bus rides are actually kind of nice. You get a lot of studying done on the bus. So yeah, I guess we just balance it that way. We'll help each other out. We're always together studying, that kind of stuff. So it all works out. It's nothing we're not used to.
And Nicole, my final question, do you think that you could probably beat head coach Kylene Biggs in a shooting contest?
Probably, yeah.
We could find out coming up next on our LTU Coaches podcast. Nicole, thanks for joining me today.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
2, 3 warm-ups? What? You get 1 warm-up. That's it. That's the only warm-up she gets. See? She's got to be ready to go. She just went 7 of 9, and now she can't go 1 of 5. Oh, that's 1. You can't make 2, can you? Oh, 2 in a row. 2 in a row. Oh, dear. You're just giving me too much of a chance. Oh, over 50%. That's 3. 3 for 5. I get 2 warm-ups. You said I get 2 warm-ups. Okay. I should have just kept rolling. You got that game?
Those are her warm-ups.
Here you go.
I don't gotta talk. You don't mess it up on her own. I don't gotta talk.
Jeez, oh, Pete.
Coach, I don't even gotta say anything. You're already messing it up on your own.
Oh. Come on. Jeez, oh, Pete, Coach Kai. Should have counted my warm-ups. Should have counted my warm-ups.
Yeah, now I can get in it. All right, shoot for second place, T.Y.
Got you.
All right, well, that's 1 for 1. A dead clock is right twice a day. Okay, there we go. 1 for 2.
Here we go.
2 for 3. Here we go. Where? That's off left right there.
Here we go. 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 Here we go.
Well, that's 1 spot. Can you move? Can you move? All right, we go.
Short.
Okay, hold up.
Hold up. What's wrong? Is it the ball? Is it the ball? No. Short. Got 1. Oh, 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 3. Go ahead. Can you move a little bit? Can you move a little bit?
Move that ball right to the bottom of that net.
That's all. Short. Short. He choked. Pressure. Pressure bust pipes. Pressure bust pipes.
Let's